Hi there. Tonight we're going to talk about your HPA axis. You have one, I have one, we all have one. So it's your HPA axis and it's super important and it's functioning all the time. It's your hypothalamus pituitary axis. So basically it's your brain talking through certain organs. And the end result, the last organ that sends out that last message is your adrenals. So it starts from your brain, works its way down right to the adrenals. So it's your HPA axis, and we're going to talk about it tonight and how it affects everybody, how important it is, and the signs that you are overworking it and what you can do to heal it. So thank you so much for listening. Whether you're listening to me live or watching the replay, I'm Dr. Glenna, naturopathic doctor, mother of 3 small kids, and I'm the creator of Optimal Health with Dr. Glenna. So my passion is helping women look and feel their very best so they can get on with all of their adventures in life, from work to relationships to whatever they have planned. Because when women feel good, children, families, and communities thrive. So thanks again for listening, and we're going to talk about your HPA axis. So it's hypothalamus, which is in the brain, pituitary, adrenals. So it's super important. So when that is overworking, we are in sympathetic overdrive. So we are ramped up, we are wired, we are overstimulated, we can be irritable, we can have high blood pressure, high blood sugar. So notice that everything is hyperstimulated when our HPA axis is on overdrive. So the message from the brain to the adrenals is that we are on red alert. So we're ready to go. You might feel like you're walking on eggshells. You don't know what's around the corner. Somebody taps you on the shoulder and you're ready to jump out of your chair. If you've ever experienced that, that's when you're in sympathetic overdrive. The insides, all the messaging inside the body is that you're on red alert. Beware, there's danger. And we all have that system in us. And the problem is when we are in sympathetic overdrive, the most of our time, you either eventually be forced out of it, unfortunately, because you can't stay like that forever, or your brain will start to dial it down. Your brain will start to slow it down. Your brain will start to slow down all the messaging. So then you go into kind of a slow function. Your lower immunity, lower adrenal function, lower thyroid function, lower temperature, so you're cold all the time, lower metabolism. So even your brain processing, your memory, your concentration, your thought recall goes slower. So that either happens because the brain decides to dial it down because you're spending too much time in sympathetic overdrive, or you're actually depleted yourself so much that your body has no choice than to slow everything down. That is hypothyroidism, that is adrenal fatigue, that is low immunity, that is slow metabolism. All of those symptoms are a sign that your body has become depleted. And now your body's trying to store and save energy, store fat, store weight. Your metabolism has slowed down. You maybe have a slower bowel function. You have slower thought process. You feel tired all the time, and like a deep tired, like an exhaustion that doesn't go away by just sleeping one night. So those are all signs that you were in sympathetic overdrive and you're starting the crash. And if you're in sympathetic overdrive, what you can do to prevent the crash is dial it down yourself. Start giving yourself, pressing the pause button. Start having breaks in the day where you're not in this red alert, sympathetic overdrive, overusing nutrients, kind of overusing the body's functions. Dial it down yourself so that, or you will be forced to. Your body will dial it down for you and you will go into the crash. And you might not even know you're in the crash because it might have happened slowly over a couple of years where all of a sudden you couldn't lose weight. All of a sudden your brain fog set in. All of a sudden your mood started to get low. So everything started to come down and slow down and get low gradually. So be aware of that. So beware if you're in sympathetic overdrive. If you're wired and irritable and restless and you have a hard time relaxing, time coming down, if your blood pressure, blood sugar is up, so everything's elevated. and you don't feel even comfortable coming down, that is a sign that you are in overdrive, that you don't know how to come down anymore because your body, that HPA axis, is constantly firing. The brain is constantly saying you're in danger. So that's one. Sympathetic overdrive exhaustion is when your mood is low, your metabolism is slow, your blood sugar starts going too low, and you start getting drops in your blood sugar where you get shaky and you need to eat. Maybe your blood pressure is too low now. All of those things mean that you are kind of in overdrive exhaustion. Your body's exhausted. So what can you do about it? That's the important thing, because we can always do something about our health. And let's jump back to that sympathetic overdrive. All of your systems will be affected. So you might just feel the racing heart rate. You might just feel wired, but the adrenaline that's going through your bloodstream is affecting all of your organs. It's affecting your heart. It's affecting the microbiome, the bugs in your gut. The adrenaline and cortisol actually changes those, which are really effective with your immune system. Your immune system can either go low when you're in sympathetic overdrive, or it can actually get so ramped up that you're getting sick all the time. You constantly have a sore throat. You're constantly fighting something. You can actually even get into the point where you go into starting to attack your own body cells, which is autoimmune. So neither sympathetic overdrive or sympathetic exhaustion is good or healthy. Sympathetic overdrive is only healthy in short-term bursts when you've got to get to a deadline or you've got to act fast. But if you stay in that system over time, you will start to burn out. No doubt about it. And everybody has the system, and everybody has been in sympathetic overdrive. Some people are better to turn the switch off, so they're not revving all the time. Some people are so used to that switch being turned on that they don't even know what it feels like to have it turned off, or they're not comfortable because it's so unfamiliar to them. So let's talk about what you can do for those systems, because that HPA axis, that's just kind of like a cycle, but it affects all the cells in the body. So you can first of all remove any inflammatory triggers, because anytime there's an inflammatory trigger, you're setting yourself into sympathetic overdrive. Any environmental triggers that bother you, like chemicals, perfumes, smells, really heavy-duty cleaners, things like that, can put you into sympathetic overdrive. Some people, they're so affected by it, their heart rate goes up, their blood pressure goes up, their sugars go up, because they've become sensitive to them. So any inflammatory, if sugar doesn't do well, so inflammatory foods are caffeine, too much sugar, too much alcohol can be inflammatory. Any foods that you know you don't do well with, those are inflammatory triggers. Nourishing your body, this is what you can do about it if you're in sympathetic overdrive and you have a reason or a situation in your life that you can't get out. Maybe there's a short-term stress that you're under right now. Well, make sure you do this. Remove any inflammatory triggers that you know of. Start to really nourish your body. Don't force your body to go without nutrients that it needs, right? We need fat, protein, carbs. We need all the vitamins and minerals to function normally. So if there's gaps in your diet, fill them in with good whole food. Hit the pause button. So if you're revving and you're going 12, 14 hours a day, hit the pause button, even if it's to sit down for 10 minutes, grab a book, read the newspaper, go for a walk, do yoga, do something calming, something that's your brain, you can feel your brain not giving the message that you're under that red alert, or that you're on red alert. Okay, so hitting the pause button, think about that during your days. And some people don't understand or kind of think lunch isn't that important or breaks that aren't that important, but they are. They're basically, you're hitting the pause button. Even if it's a 10-minute break, you're hitting the pause button, so the brain is on pause, not giving those stress alert, sympathetic overdrive messages. That's why a 10-minute walk can be so refreshing, and you can feel so much less stressed after just going for a 10-minute walk. You've hit the pause button on the sympathetic overdrive on the HPA axis. Work on getting better sleep, because that's really when we're replenishing and nourishing, when we're asleep in a good sleep. So continuously work on that. You may have had insomnia or poor sleep for years, but you can change that. And the best way to do it is start getting a bedtime routine. If you're looking for a plan like this, if you're looking for encouragement, support, accountability, a meal plan that's going to fill in the nutrient gaps, or if you've been trying to get on track in January and it's just not happening, you're not alone. We are made for community support. We're made for accountability. We function so well on that, which is why there's so many different ways we can join programs and things. It's because it's effective and it works. And in my program, Optimal Health with Dr. Glenna, I'm starting another round. It starts next week. So if you're thinking about it, don't hesitate if you're ready for something like this. The favorite part was the meal plan, and I gotta say that's taken a second seat to the support that's on the private Facebook group. The women in there are so supportive, which gives us accountability, which is why it works. And as I say in the program, I don't look for 100%. We want to be 80%. It's what we do 80% of the time that will determine our health. So our 80% of our behaviors will determine the health outcome. So we don't need perfect. But the accountability support is super fun. It's really, it provides us with accountability. And we're just getting going with some weekly group coaching that we're doing live. So we've done it for a few weeks and I'm just getting into my groove with that. So that's been super fun. Doing that every Thursday. And we get a meal plan. I put out a meal plan every week with a grocery list and a prep guide to give you some support. And the workbook, the health workbook, we have daily health topics too that we talk about. So we talk about some more advanced things like what to do about hypothyroidism, how to know if you have adrenal fatigue, and how to manage stress, what to do if you have anxiety, what things that you can do at home, what blood tests to ask your doctor for to ensure that you're getting, so there's no gaps there in the blood work, so that you can be preventative and find the root cause. We talk about all that in the program, which is super important, I feel, for everybody to know the basics so they know how to speak up for themselves, what's going on with their health, what they can do about their health, prevent or treat. So there's lots of great things we talk about. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys are having a wonderful January, and whatever goals you've set out for 2018, I hope you're either thinking about them, on your way, or succeeding in them. But remember, there's 12 months of the year, so have long-term goals. And if I can be any help with my program, Optimal Health, Dr. Glenna, I'll post the link below and you can check it out. I have a page there with all the information. Oh, thank you so much, Bernadette. Thanks so much. It means a lot to me when women that have done the program speak out and comment. I think it helps other women know what is it like. It's even more valuable than what I say about the program, because I am a little bit biased because I put my 15 years experience of naturopathic medicine in this program. So I put a lot into the program. And so it's very helpful when somebody like Bernadette speaks up and kind of gives their opinion or shares their experience, because I think women, there's nothing better than word of mouth, because women kind of trust other women's opinions. So thanks so much, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.